In this video here is a master support player that's playing some DPS. I'm not sure what the what their rank is in DPS, but they're playing Tracer. And I've been trying to learn to play Tracer and been watching a lot of videos. And what I'm gonna do is VOD review this and see if I can find the mistakes that this player is making in order to help myself understand how to play Tracer, and maybe also help them out, because what I've learned in some videos is how Tracer needs to be played, as far as blink management, recall management, flanking, off angling, engage timing, having a plan, target priority, also knowing where all the health packs are and everything like that. And your main objective, objective of Tracer is being a distraction, just being annoying, and things like that. So I'm going to watch this video here, or this replay here, and see if I can find some of the mistakes. So here, you'd want to set up and go get staged for an off angle. Okay. Here you're fine. I think you might have used recall a little early, probably panicking. We all do that for sure. I know I do in my gameplay. Things you know to notice: you have your blinks, do you have your recalls, are you on off angle, and is your team engaging? So so one of the things to look at, your team has yet to start engaging. So you were just a little early on your timing here, but I think other than that, it's okay. I mean, one thing to also keep in mind, I think if we're looking over here, is to know where the health packs are. There's not any here. There's you have a mega here, and there's the other mega over here, and that's your only health packs for that side. Well, also then plus back on the other side, if you were over here, you have this health pack to go to this one. So it could be that this side might be a little better, more optimal, but I still think this, once again, you're still doing the fundamental thing. You are coming in as off angle, and that's exactly what you want to do as Tracer, to become an off angle, but your timing is a little bit too early because they're not quite engaged quite yet. And now you're pushing back a little further, which is a little risky because you don't have recall. If you're getting this deep back in here deep, you usually want to have your recall. You have decent, your blinks are good, but you definitely want to have your recall. I mean, you still have 10 seconds on your recall. So here, I think even despite the recall, you came back in time. You did a really good pick on the Zen. Slightly risky just because of the no recall. Good recognition of where the health pack was. So definitely a good play here, I think. Potentially what I see here is maybe, let your Genji battle out with their Genji, and you probably could have stayed a little bit more on the, got up here and then maybe blinked up and over and maybe distracted the Kiriko just a little bit more. But I don't know. Still, it's just an idea, something to keep in mind. Okay, here you blinked in, you have 0 blinks. You don't use your recall. You had low health, and unfortunately, you probably might already know this, but you could have gotten this health pack and maybe blinked out, recalled, I don't know, and you had to blink by then and maybe try to get out. But you might have just died here. Not getting the health pack. Probably should just try to get out of there, but once again, you might have just been lost. But here you would have gave yourself a chance, and by the time you got this, maybe you would have had a blink back. It was close. So once again, you might have died either way, but might have just stayed in the back too long. Here, good health pack awareness, good getting out, definitely. So Still good. So a little bit here. Nice pick on the Kiriko there. Now then the question is, what should you be doing? And you would need to look back and see if your team is engaging. So now you would just, I mean, you're already looking here. You can see that your team is back there. You have two dead, your tank and your Genji are dead. Here at this point, what you should do is just wait, because you don't want to be the first one in. They're not pressuring you, they're not coming after you. You just got a nice pick on the Kiriko. I mean, you could even come back here and try to hold her off, but separate her even more. But maybe you just hang out here and wait till your team engages, and you can then, once they get in, you could take it. You would be able to take an off angle here. So let's see what you do. Okay, I mean, it ended up working out fine, but you did put yourself in danger and ended up having to use a recall too soon. But it worked out, and you do a nice play here and get a pick on the Zarya. But when you go in back here at when you went in for the Moria, one thing you should probably want to check off the boxes. Okay, you have enough blinks, which is 2, and you have your recall. But is your team engaging? Once again, usually as Tracer, you don't want to be the first one in, because if this is any other, I mean, I don't know what level this is, but it seems like if you'd have been a little higher, looks like the Morias are AFK. You put yourself in harm's way unnecessarily at this point, I think, and ended up, just something to keep in mind to watch out for. So when you go in, to me, the 3 things you should always be looking for: how are my blinks, how's my recall, is it up, is my team engaging, and am I at an off angle? Which you check all those boxes except your team is not here. And the main thing you want your team to be able to do, because what you're going to do as Tracer is you're either going to follow up on kills, or you're going to put somebody down so low that they can that your team can follow up. But what happens here is nobody's there to follow up on what you did. But just something to keep in mind, and I think that'll help you out in the future. Okay, and then we get up here. This was a good wrap around on the Zarya, and good and way to get and work with your team. Your team was engaged. You also got a nice pick on the helped get a Kiriko very low and get a pick on her. I think this recall you used was a little unnecessary, but just something to be aware of, so that you're not wasting that cooldown for no reason, because you might need it at a later time. Because if you look, you have Zen Orb on you, right? And you recall at down only about 50 health or less. So a wasted recall, but it might not matter. But just something, in other times you definitely might want to keep your recall, especially when you got a blading Genji running about. Okay, so here you have 75 HP, and you have a Mora right here just alting, and So what should your priority be? To attack her? I mean, you still have plenty of time. It's not overtime or anything like that. Should you attack her, or should you be trying to find some health packs? And I think you have it here. To me, you should have blinked out and back over here, because this health pack's here. You've got it before. So definitely need to watch your health. So it looks like you're going to engage. If you stay up here, you might be fine, but all she's got to do is turn on you, and you still have recall, which you didn't use. You could have used that, but now if you recall, you're only going to recall back at about 75 health. So you need to watch that. So I would pay attention to that, and let's see what you do. Okay, so instead of going back over and getting full health from a health pack, you decide to jump down in front of the Moira. Use your recall to only get back to 75% health. So, if you would have got the health pack first, now you'd have been back over here full health, been able to do some other things, and there's no longer a alting Moira. And there's no longer an alting Moira here. So now, and you've now blinked out. You have one blink left. And what should you be thinking right now? In my opinion, what you should be thinking right now is there's a full health pack over to my right. I have one blink. I should blink back over there to get that health pack. So, and there is a tracer here, and I think you catch wind of her, and let's see what happens. Okay. Get bailed out by your support, which is okay. So everything's fine. Maybe you noticed your team was there, stayed there. That's okay. Okay. So the problem with that, I think, is you had some high ground, and you were playing the high ground. Was fine when you were up here. And obviously the Genji pushes you, you get down, maybe you should blink here. This is when you need to have a plan to get out. And the bad thing about being on this side is the health packs are only over here. And I think maybe if you would have been over here on this side, you could have been, I don't know, that would have been bad. So being over on this side, you probably should have stayed up here a little longer. And when you got out, you should have maybe went back this way and got back over to with your Winston or into your supports. Instead, you took the path of coming down and being in front of their team. So that's just one thing you do. You need to know that exit path. Definitely having an exit path, because if you don't have an exit path, you're going to make the mistake of getting down in front of their team, which is where you don't want to be. So I mean, even if you would have maybe even came across here and did a blink, maybe you would have been better off. So it's just things to keep in mind. Have yourself a plan. You're up here, you were doing fine. You were being able to pressure. Genji came here, get out best you can, and try not to go in the middle of their team. Because if you're going to go in the middle of the team, more likely you're going to end up dying each time. Okay, not bad. Okay, going down middle, I don't recommend it. Pretty decent stick on the to get her low. Okay, not bad. Stay on your off angle here. Okay. You double blink. Now back here, you're running a little dangerous. You don't have you're moving in first. You're two on going in 1 on 2, and you have two supports. So the likelihood of you taking out 2 supports is probably going to be pretty nil. I mean, you do have your tank right there. You're forced to recall, which is not going to be bad, I don't think. But just something to think about. You're pushing in, and you have a Genji here. So I understand that you want to hit them, but you recalled, and the Genji was hitting you from behind. So I don't know, good push I think, but you know, just keep in mind of your blinks. Here, a little risky because you don't have recall, but you get a nice pick, so it works out. And what I think you probably could have done, since you were already down there, and your tank was pressuring them, I think you should have stayed down here, because now you're fighting the Genji, and maybe you would have still fought the Genji, but I think at this time you have your recall back, so that's fine. So why not, you know, because one of the thing is just to be a pest. So now you're not causing their team to turn around whatsoever. And the other thing is your Winston has jumped out, but your Genji's on that side. If you're over here and you could come back around where if you would have just stayed here, I don't know what the Genji would have done, but you could have maybe got a shot on the Moria and, you know, recalled at that point. So I think if you'd have stayed down here, it'd have been a little better off, because now you have this cover to play with. Genji's there. You could have attacked their backline here behind and divided their attention there and maybe put some pressure. Yeah, I think that blink was just a little bit risky. You would never want to blink through their team. You would always want to be able to come a different way, you know, because you're blinking through here. They're probably going to see you. For some reason they don't, but they don't turn around on you. But you know, I think it worked out. But you know, you probably want to watch blinking through a team, because on the higher, you know, chances it's dangerous just blinking through a team. Because now you're back here. Let's see, but you still have your recall, so you're all right. So I think it's fine, but just something you might not want to do, make a habit of. Good try on that. That's fine. Good way to get away from the Genji. Recall. Same. So that's recall usage. If you would have recalled, you would have been good. So dying when you have one blink left and a recall, you know, something to be cognizant of knowing your recalls, because at that point you could have recalled, been back down, and maybe not have died, and now you died. And you put your team at a disadvantage, because now it's 2 on. So it would have been 3 on 3. Now it's 2 on 3 because you didn't use a recall. Because you would have recalled back down here, could have got under his bubble, shot here, or even went back up here to shoot to buy your team more time to get back. And you know the Genji did just play, but you could have recalled, maybe even got a pick on the Genji. I don't know, but you would have at least been here to help out. So I'm not sure what was happening here. You come up, the tracer's right there, like right now. Just move a little to the left, and the tracer is dead. The tracer would have been, well, the tracer recalls, but she would have recalled even more. But you didn't. Did you even shoot at her? No. I mean, where are you going? Or did you just lock in on this person? And now then, look where you're at. You're in the middle. There's a hog that's now looking at you. Their tracer is alive, going to be looking at you. And then, so you put yourself right in the middle of their team. You know, if you would have been here, it would have fought the tracer, forced her recall, you would have been able to help out with which I think Genji dies anyway. Let's see. No, you would have been able to take out the Genji, but instead he gets away. You have to recall because you went out there to the middle. Now, just keep wrapping around. Right? Boom, there's the Tracer. If you'd have just kept wrapping around, there's Tracer. Shoot her. Stay up here, shoot the Mora. I mean, there's just, you know, instead you're jumping around over here. And you die. So, yeah, so, okay. Yeah, so I don't know if you were thinking of trying to contest a point, so I know sometimes we panic, but you had plenty of time at that point. So just be mindful of that. Don't jump in, you know, try to always think, where's my off angle? And one thing in one spot you don't want to be as Tracer, as Tracer is down here in the open. You know, you could have taken the off angle over here. That Tracer was there. You could have taken her out and could have started causing a little bit more havoc. So, very rarely do you want to be going down main with Tracer, and you just want to try to be annoying and be a gnat as much as you can. And you end up losing that point, which is fine. Okay, so now then it's okay. Okay, so here you want to be setting up on either a flank to the left or right, doesn't matter, this is fine. You do a good job denying the Tracer here. Oops. Okay, good job being annoying. Just keep shooting, yeah. So, go into your team, but there is a health pack right behind you, don't forget. Don't forget about this health pack that's right over here. You probably could have just blinked backwards to it, boom, and played this corner maybe, and you would have still had your recall. Right now you're low, so if you would have got this, you might have been a little bit better on health, because, you know, when you went back over, nobody healed you. Now you have recall. Look, hold on, and you still haven't went back over to get a health pack. So back once again, we're checking boxes. Is your health good? No. You don't have a recall and you have one blink. So this is not a good spot. Once again, you know, coming back from, oh, okay, that's why I can't do it. Okay, coming back from way over here, you should, this one is back. You even blinked right through this room. Let's see if when you blink through here, if this was still here. Boom, it's back. Okay, so let's look. Let's look when you come in here. Because you're over there. They're going to clear out. You're going to recall. Okay, so look. You had 2 health packs you could have gotten before you engaged. So, health awareness and health packs. So you could have went back with most of your health to go fight and go mess around with this Ana, even though, you know, she's by herself. So, right? So it's okay that you probably don't have your recall, but you still want to have your recall. So I still think that's kind of a, no, now you have zero blinks too, but you just kind of got yourself in this predicament. So it's okay. Boom. Now, at this point, your whole thing is you want to either, let's see where your team is pretty much dead. Let's see where they're at. You're not helping them. You're not helping your Winstons running away to get your Life Weavers, or your Life Weaver is coming back. He's almost dead. Life Weaver is coming back out of, is that Life Weaver coming out of spawn? Yeah, Life Weaver is coming out of spawn. And your other Lucio just died. So you're in shambles. So you either die with your team or you just hang and survive and don't die. and set up and get to a point to where you can set up to do damage. So now at this point, you're healing back up, which is good. They're down a Genji, and you're way back over here, healing up, which is fine. But at some point, what you're going to want to do is you would want to make yourself way over here, and when your team engages, you would want to be somewhere in here and be able to challenge and put pressure on this hog's backline, right? Or even on the hog himself, just to pepper him with the DPS passive. Okay, so let's see what you do. Okay, waiting for the Genji, which is fine. Fine, now just follow him in on the left side here. On the left side, you just want to follow him in. Your team's engaging. You should be engaging. You should be engaging. Okay, you're taking a little too long there to engage. So now you're back. You recall. Okay. Okay. And then now you took yourself basically out of the fight. You're coming to get you came way back here, and your team was engaging. Your Winston did die, but if you were here engaging, you recalled. There is a health pack here, so you could have got it. Came back around, and maybe pressured this on a little bit more to keep her from healing her team. But it happens. But you basically take yourself out of the fight. So you did very little there on that. So basically, so far, there's you're peppering. You're not doing anything to the hog. You're just showing where they're at. There's no need for that. I mean, you take his attention for a little bit, but there's no. Your team's not even back yet. So you're just telling them where you're at for no reason and losing health. Yeah, you force your recall. You don't go for any health. You go out in the middle, so you're being healed. You heal up. Okay. So basically from that whole time, let's see, it was like 40 seconds. So from 7:32 to 8:12, you literally did very little. You were doing much and not doing much of anything and not helping your team. So, just make sure that when your team's engaging, like now would be a good time to be up shooting the Namora, anything like that. So just like literally from like 7:32 to 8:12, you were doing not really much of anything. So just be mindful of that. A35, you got a good pick on the Moira there. You chase down the Tracer, get a nice pick here. Okay. So now playing with your team, having your team engage. It's a lot nicer when your team's there and engaging, so you can be in there. Here, a good angle. Definitely would do that. Okay, waiting. Your team's engaging. You probably could shoot. Okay. Oh, nice pick on the. There, you need to get out. Okay. Get out of there. Get the health pack. There you go. Wait, good dodge. And get back in there. Yes. See, this is what you need to be doing. So see how that felt? Your team's engaging, and you're in there being able to get picks, cause a distraction, and they don't even know you're there half the time. Now here, you probably just need to get out. Need to work. Good recall. Okay, you're getting a little greedy here, I think, but I mean, your team's here, so I think you're playing with your team, so I think this is pretty good. Pretty good so far. Yeah. You know what? You took 2 for you. Yeah, that's a fair trade. Definitely a fair trade. So, we're basically there. That last bit of gameplay, I thought that looked like some very solid gameplay. You were working well with your team, and you were then playing the off angles. You were getting behind them and causing the havoc that you're supposed to be causing as Tracer. I think if you really concentrate on doing and look at that piece of your gameplay, I think that will definitely help you become better Tracer player. Just from like all the stuff that I've watched and seen, that's right there was some, to me, was a part of some really good Tracer gameplay. Okay, so here you're low. You're low on health. You have recall, which you did not use, which now, if you use it at a certain point, it might be too late, and you might not even get really any health back. You're 27 health. Do you want to be? You got to ask yourself, if you're this low health, do you want to be taking a fight? And what health does this Tracer have? Way more than you do. You have recall, but you're not going to get much. Chill here and look. Your blink comes back. You blink straight into here. After the Tracer goes, you get this health pack. That one's gone, but then you at least heal back up, and maybe you wrap around and get another health pack, or you're at least a little bit better off to fight. But instead, you decide to go and fight again, and you die, and which might not have mattered, but still, just things to notice. To keep in mind, you don't want to engage anybody with that low of health. You're already low health hero in the first place, so don't do that, and that'll help you out. And just be mindful of get out of here real quick and blink, because I don't know if she would have engaged you, or she would have just went back over to the Lucio, and then you could have went in and got here right as that one blink, right? So keep that in mind as well. Here, if your team engages, I think you probably should go right here. Yeah. What I would do, why here? So now they have a soldier shooting this way, that you put yourself out in the open. You're out in the open. You're out in the open. You recall. Go back in. When, I think if you would have played that earlier over from this side, you would have had more coverage, had a health pack, or if you would have just stayed over in this area. But I think over here would have been better. Your whole team's here. You could have played the off angle, boom, boom. But instead you got over there and you ended up dying. So, but you don't want to be down main. You don't want to be the first one in ever. Just things to keep in mind when playing Tracer is that you don't ever want to be the first one in. You flank or do a deep flank, or play an off angle. Depending on how deep your flank is how many blinks and recalls you have. If you don't have recall, you definitely don't want to be doing a deep flank. You want to probably be doing a soft off angle, and you only engage when your team is engaging. Because you're squishy and you're really there to distract. So, and also when you're going in, you need to have a plan of where you're going to go if things go bad, and also know where all the health packs are. hopefully this helps out. The main thing here is to see to recognize the gameplay of Tracer and how it's supposed to be played, and see if we can find any flaws in the gameplay and help it better based upon the fundamentals of Tracer. So hopefully this was a learning experience for some, as it was for me, just to watch somebody else, somebody else's gameplay. Because a lot of times when you view your own gameplay, it's very hard to deduce whether it was a bad decision or not, because you're biased, I think. So I just did this in hopes to help people out and myself. Thank you for watching, and if you like the content, I got some more. Hopefully I'll have some more coming out in the future, and I got some more on the channel. Thank you. I got some more on the YouTube. Thank you.